So it is Bible fairy tale time with the story of gay love in the Bible with David and Jonathan. So once upon a time, a man called Saul was the king of Israel. But one day, God told Saul that after he died, an Israelite called David would be king instead of Saul's son Jonathan. Because when people say that God brings peace on earth, I guess they mean the pieces of human flesh and body parts that tend to be scattered around after some people with very large swords fight some other people with very large swords in an attempt to win back a throne that the heir has been usurped from due to orders by somebody else's imaginary friend. But Jonathan didn't mind that David would be king because Jonathan was in love with David. And to prove this, Jonathan took off his robe and gave it to David, and then took off his armor and belt and gave it to David, and then took off one of his swords and gave it to David. And then, even though it was physically impossible for him to take off his other sword, still managed to give this to David again and again and again before kneeling down to properly worship the chosen one of God. But King Saul was jealous of David because David was more popular with the people than Saul, as David had killed more Philistines, proving that the people really did follow in the footsteps of God by favouring the man who could wipe out more members of a neighbouring race in the most brutal way possible. So Saul ordered for David to be killed. But Jonathan, who couldn't bear for his little Davy Wabbit to die, warned David so that he could run away. And also so that Jonathan could watch David's cute little ass bouncing up and down as he ran away. Because Jonathan did always love it when David turned the other cheek. And Jonathan got David to swear his love for him, and they kissed and wept, with David crying the most. And then, just before he left, David used his sword to put the seed of God in, and, because it was a very special occasion, on Jonathan. With Jonathan's permission, of course, because, as we all know, you should never put your seed of God on anyone without getting their blessing first.
God said go screw, get down and dirty while you're doing the do. God said go bang, go slam in every way you can. Yes, God said go screw, make sure you call out my name